Well, congrats to Gonzaga. That's a heck of a team. We played 40 minutes of pretty good basketball against them the last 2 years. Unfortunately, those 40 minutes haven't happened on the same day. They're a problem to stop. Their efficiency, because of their ability to, have so many guys that can shoot it, and with two guys that'll probably play in the NBA in Clark and Hachimura, it's hard to guard. And then have someone like Josh Perkins who can really score the basketball, but is willing to just facilitate and make you pay every time you make a mistake. And obviously his foul trouble the first half was a benefit to us. With him on the floor the second half, we didn't have many answers.
Questions for the student athletes first.
Guess what? In the second half, you kind of answered their first initial barrage to start it and build the lead back up. What kind of happened during that stretch where they were able to put a good run together and kind of get you guys into a hole where it was between 9 and double digits there?
Well, pretty much we just executed a plan during the first half of what we had to do to sit there and jump time in the paint and spray it out. It worked for those first couple of minutes, and then we just mostly just fell off by doing it. But we're just gonna have to learn from this, like these mistakes that we had. But at the end, we just fell short.
Damien, what did you take from this? You're up 7 at the half. What's the takeaway from this effort? Because there were encouraging signs there for a good portion of it, but then they strike back. What do you take from it?
Well, coming into the second half, we had a lot of energy and we was kind of excited, and I felt like as a whole we were like I said, we were too excited, and we came out in the second half. We took a lot of tough shots and they kind of fed off that. And like coach mentioned in the huddle, they feed off our tough shots, and we can't let that happen.
Coach talked about how you guys have been able to put 20 minutes at a time here or there together. What do you bottle up when you're playing at your best that you need to take forward here ahead with Nebraska and others on the schedule?
Pretty much, we just got to go out there and just play our hardest, no matter what it takes. We have a lot of depth on the team, and it constantly run for the first 4 minutes. We can get guys in to come in and sub anytime. But coming in Nebraska and coming in for the rest of the practice, we just got to constantly just get better. We got to work our way in practice. We got to run, and we have to do everything so we can get prepared. And pretty much we can just see how everything goes.
Get loose in the second half?
Well, he made a couple tough shots. Like Coach mentioned, he said he's fine with him making the tough shots with the hands up in his face. But obviously he made some couple tough shots that we couldn't just control. Shots were going in for him. He got hot. He just kept shooting them, and he got a lot of confidence. That's one thing about him. He have a lot of confidence about his shot. And so we did the best we can trying to guard him, but we got to do better.
Touch on it if you were asked this, sorry, but a game like that, just back and forth, where both offenses have the capability to produce. What's it like, that sort of? Because is there pressure to score, pressure to keep up, or how do you sort of react to a game like that where it's just basically a shootout?
Pretty much it's just a constant, just keep just go. I mean, we just had to get stops. Either team mostly just had to sit there and just get stops, and pretty much in that outcome of the game, we took a lot of tough and bad shots, but we just got to make up for it, learn from it.
What have you learned about the balance so far between taking tough shots when you're in rhythm and feeling it and confident, where you've got it rolling, versus ones that probably can break that rhythm, I guess, all of a sudden?
I mean, it's just, to be honest, it's just a lot of just we pretty much, as a whole, we just have to sit there and just work for each other. I need to sit there and learn from this film and sit there and get in the bad habit of stop taking all these tough shots that I'm doing and sit there and just make plays for my teammates. And I'm just going to have to learn from this. I'm going to watch the film probably starting up tomorrow or probably try to even do it today. But I'm going to just have to sit there and start learning how to sit there and go in the hole, set my feet, even though the shot clock might be down a little bit. But at the end of the day, I just got to make plays for either my teammates or sometimes myself.
2 more for the student athletes.
Guys, what are the positives you take out of this game playing against the #1 team in the nation? What are the positives?
Well, the positive coming out of here, it was a great learning experience for us, and we know what we have to do for the remainder of the season. Coming in and playing, no matter who we play, we just can't underestimate nobody. And like you said, they're #1 team in the country, so we wanted to come out here and just learn from this. And obviously, we're gonna learn from this come Monday when we watch film about this game, and just obviously do what Coach wants us to do, and whatever he tell us to do.
Pretty much, like Damian said, they're #1 team in the country. They're a very talented team. But it was just a fantastic opportunity to sit there and play them. They're a great team. We just have to sit there and just keep learning from this, carry on forward, and sit there and just get better and better.
For both of you, I know that you'd like to leave this with a win, but you got to find a little bit of encouragement scoring 92 points against a defense that's good, right?
It's not enough. At the end of the day, we want to come out with a win. Like obviously, 92 points. That is a lot of points in a college basketball game, but it's still not enough. Like we took some tough shots that cost us the game. I know myself. I took a couple tough shots, but it's like you said, like Tyshawn said, it's a learning process, and we're going to do what we have to do to better ourselves and better as a player.
For sure.
Questions for Coach?
Greg, it was kind of the tale of 2 halves. What was the difference at the start of the second half?
We had a real opportunity there. We scored on 7 out of our first 8 possessions to start the second half, but we weren't able to. We were still up 7 when they took that timeout because they scored 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 and had a couple had a 3-point play in there. So, they put so much pressure on you because of those 2 bigs. Obviously, we feel like at this point in time in the development of our team that playing small is by far our best offensive lineup, and obviously you're at a little bit of a disadvantage when you play 2 guys like Clark and Hachimura. And we tried to provide some help. Did a pretty good job the first half. Hachimura hit a couple of shots on the perimeter, but that game had a lot of pace to it both ways, and I think both teams were tired, and their experience won out, and it's 73-72 right in there, or 78-73, and we're 55 possessions into the game. We'd only turn it over 3 times, and we turn it over back to back to back 3 times in a row, and then now you're down 10 or 11 to a team like that, and it's an uphill battle. So I joked with my staff early this week. I said, I'll figure out a way for us to score 100. You figure out a way to hold them to 99. And when you watch them on film, you see why that's true. And now that we've seen them play, they're terrific offensively. I would have guessed that if we could score 92, it would have been enough. But they're really, really talented.
Greg, what did you see? You mentioned the turnovers and the players that maybe the shot selection wasn't the greatest in that stretch. What else did you see?
The turnovers, 2 of the turnovers, we had a dunk. Marcus's got tipped and Davion's got picked off. We got behind the defense, and that was going to be 4 points. And then I just thought we took some quick shots, that weren't good shots. And I don't know if I can remember 5 possessions the first half that didn't end with something that I was okay with. Even when they made their run, when we get up 10 or 11, I thought we got really good shots during that stretch. We just missed them. We got to look at the film. We got to learn. There's certainly, I think, for every negative we take out of this, there's probably 2 positives. We're rolling a lot of young guys out there, and they're growing up in front of our eyes, and this is another step in that process.
Sounds like Tyshawn's been pretty hard on himself, but he did have 27. I guess in your eyes, how close is he to finding that balance between the aggressive shots he should be taking in rhythm versus the ones that probably need to be?
Yeah, it's a fine line because I want Tyshawn to be aggressive. You know, and he had 27 points, and he's 11 to 22, which are good numbers, but he also had 5 assists and 1 turnover. So he's going to be a marked man because of the way he scored the basketball. So he understands that there are opportunities for me to get in there, and there's going to be a lot of help, and I just got to be able to spray it and create something for my teammates. And that's a pretty mature approach to a guy that's 7 or 8 games into his sophomore season.
Coach, I don't think there's a more improved player in the Big East than Tyshawn Alexander. I mean, what are you seeing from him, and did you expect him to be this good this soon?
I don't know that anybody would expect that from a freshman to sophomore, especially. I mean, it's one thing if a freshman is playing 25 minutes a game and is a starter. It's another thing if he's a backup really his whole freshman year, and some games didn't play a lot. So to see him make this kind of a jump is a credit to him and how hard that he's worked. He spent a lot of time in the gym and in the weight room developing his body, and handle's gotten better, his shots quicker, and as a result, he's playing really well for us.
We talked yesterday about the mileage that a win can do for a resume and whatnot, but can you speak to the mileage that a loss like this can have, what you take from it and those things that you could take going forward?
It just depends on your approach to the loss when you watch the film. If you look in the mirror and really try to make some changes of the things that didn't go right, and then be also mature enough to understand when we execute some offense, you know, when somebody gets an open three-point shot, it's usually because of some other action. You know, we put pressure on the rim, somebody got in the paint. You know, there's a reason that teammate got the shot, and you also have to understand that too. Sometimes you do your job and other people get rewarded. So we just have to learn from that. And I think anybody who watched the game today probably thought there's 2 pretty good teams playing. So we're making strides. We're getting better. We're a much better team than the one that played here against Ohio State and East Tennessee State a few weeks ago. And I hope in 2 weeks I'm saying the same thing. We're a much better team than the team that played Gonzaga. So really, really talented team that we played, very well coached, very disciplined. Obviously, they're going to win a lot of games.
2 more for Coach.
With Norvell, I mean, obviously 6 of 17 isn't a good, efficient shooting percentage from 3, but it seemed like the ones he hit were timely.
He changed the game. You know, and we talked to our team at halftime about, you know, I'm guessing they're gonna try to get him going because it changes everything on how you defend inside when you know, and he can shoot it 6 feet behind the line. And as Damian said, I mean, he had a couple tough ones, but I think the first one that he got was off a mistake. We went under a screen or we miscommunicated something, and he gets an open one, and that gets him started. But, you know, he's been an absolute killer to us in the second half the last 2 years. He's a good player.
You guys played at a very high level for a long time in that game. Had this team can take confidence from that and maybe going forward?
Yeah, we have to. I mean, that's part of evaluating any game. As a coaching staff, we'll pull a lot of positives from it, and we'll also pull some things that are absolutes that can't happen again if we want to move forward as quickly as we'd like to move forward. So, you know, obviously we have an unselfish team. They're willing to pass the basketball. We've got a lot of guys that can shoot it. I think we had 7 guys make a 3 the first half. So those, you know, that kind of makeup lends itself to being a pretty good offensive team. We just got to get better in some other areas.
One more, the environment and the atmosphere.
Oh, it was awesome. It was incredible. I mean, it's what college basketball is about, to be able to play in front of an environment like that. Our students were into it from the jump. They were here at 8 o'clock this morning lining up, and you know, our fans were into it, and you know, our fans are educated enough. They know where we're at in the development of our program, and I think they see the improvement from our first game till now, and we just need them to stick with us. I mean, this team's going to get better as the season goes along, but it was you know, it was an incredible environment.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.